main is real talk with your main Chip Washington. When it comes to information, the main got an arsenal. Bring you up to speed with what you need. He's the local and nationwide news feed. Let's talk about it. Dialect to do something about it. Chip got the flow wide open if you got questions about it. Man, it's the show that brings you to your raw. To solve all problems, it starts with real talk. It's 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 real talk. Yeah. Welcome to Real Talk with your host, Chip Washington. It's real talk. It's real talk. It's real talk.
And here we go. On this Monday evening in the city. It is 6 o'clock straight up, which means, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for an all-new and live Real Talk Memphis. Glad to have you with us. If you are checking us out this evening, I am your humble host. My name is Chip Washington. Glad to be in your company. Of course, it's always good when, things work out the way they're supposed to. And the Lord got me down here safe and sound. Although I almost hit somebody coming down here who was crossing a road on a red light on their side. And like 2 or 3 of us almost hit him. We had to brake hard. But thank goodness that turned out okay. But I digress. Great to have you with us. Of course, prepare yourself for another great episode, or at least we hope you. I hope so. Anyway, I hope we hope that you will enjoy the show tonight. How about that? We will lay out the guest list in just a moment, but first and foremost, how do you get this fine piece of radio broadcasting? Well, we're live right now on 91.7 on your FM dial. That would be WYXR. You can also catch us on the WYXR app if that is your thing. We're on TuneIn. The TuneIn app, if that is your thing. And, of course, we are live streaming this evening on Facebook Live. When the show posts in the next day or two, you will be able to catch us on YouTube. We are a podcast. And as a podcast, once the show posts, you will be able to find us wherever you get your favorite podcast. And, of course, we hope we fit in that category with you. So once again, great to be here. Great to have you here. And it's going to be a good show tonight. You're asking yourself, well, why is that, Chip? Well, we have a pretty good guest list. Now, for those of you who follow me on social media, I always post my guest list on the show the day before, like on Sunday. We did have a change in the guest list tonight. District Attorney Steve Mulroy was supposed to join us. But he had a prior engagement, couldn't make it. He says he will be here next week with bells on or without bells on. But anyway, he'll be here. he'll be in studio next week with us. But we do have Shelby County Sheriff Floyd Bonnor joining us. And if you've been paying a little attention, you know there's a lot of focus on the Shelby County Jail and everything that is going on with them, including a false charge laid by some attorneys against his office and the jailer and everything else. We'll talk about that and some more things, including how this Safe Task Force deal is going in just a couple of minutes. A little bit later on, we will be speaking with community activist, the Reverend Dr. Pastor Earl Fischer, of the senior pastor of the Abyssinian Baptist Church, will be joining us to talk a little bit about and sharing his views. We've not really talked to him since all of this task force stuff began. He is an outspoken member of our community. Thank God for that. And he will give his unvarnished opinion on what he sees and where things are now and where he sees things going as we continue moving forward in this direction. And a bit later on, we're going to be speaking with the interim health director of the Shelby County Health Department. His name is Dr. Bruce Randolph, and he will be talking with us about some health disparities and some other things that you might need to know from the health perspective, given we are in a new season. And of course, this is the time of year where folks start to get sick. So we'll talk with him a little bit about that. So that's a nice broad scape of what you can expect on the big broadcast of this evening. First things first, however. And by the way, I don't know if you had the chance to listen to Level Lola before us, but she did a great tribute to Young Dolph. Young Dolph was killed 4 years ago today. For those of you who may not remember. And, of course, he left a legacy of music behind, and Lola did a really good job on her show paying tribute to him. She takes a bow in the corner. Let's celebrate some birthdays. What do you say? If it's your birthday, we like to party with you, but we can't do that until I say, hit it, Brent. Happy birthday. Happy birthday going out to the following folks. Minerva Little, celebrating her birthday today. Sada Harrington, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Robert Robinson. Karen Moore, celebrating her birthday today. As is Cedric Hawkins, Valencia Gaithright, and Tricia Burnett. And what would the birthday shout out be without Lola?
I want to bag up that happy birthday to Valencia Gaithright. Shout out, Lynn. Love you, girl. Happy birthday. And also a happy birthday to my dear friend, Joshua Perkins.
There you go. There you go. And listen, from all of us here at Real Talk Memphis, we hope that you're celebrating in grand style today. I hope today has been a day of fun and laughter for you. And from all of us here at Real Talk Memphis, we hope to be with you to celebrate once again your next trip around the sun. Thanks, Brent. Let's take a look at some news and notes. I don't know if you've heard, but late this afternoon there was a shooting at Wolf Chase Galleria. It got pretty hectic and pretty hairy around there this afternoon. Two people got into it. One person was shot. Unfortunately, en route to the hospital, that person died. So we are waiting to find out more information in reference to it. A suspect has been arrested. There were two people involved, and we'll find out more of the particulars of all of that as time moves along. So a very tragic situation over at Wolf Chase Galleria. So I don't know if you're aware or not, but we have more troops coming into Memphis by way of the National Guard. Last week decided for some people, I guess the governor decided that we didn't have enough troopers here. We had about 100, 150, but he's going to send more. About another 150, another 160 National Guardsmen and women to Memphis, Tennessee. If somebody can tell me why, I would really appreciate it, because I have no idea what this is all about. So we're having all these guys, except maybe they took enough selfies with folks or took enough pictures with the local Memphians around here. They needed some more to bring in to take more pictures because they don't have any law enforcement authority. Okay, we know this because we've been told this. See there you go. Absolutely. See, Lola's telling the truth. So, prepare for that. They should be here sometime before the end of the week. More National Guard troops heading towards our city. Tammy Sawyer, the General Sessions clerk, is in a bit of a legal entanglement, so to speak. Her former chief administrative officer claims that he was fired by her for not signing off on an inappropriate use of county funds. Clerk Sawyer's now former chief administrative officer, Jeffrey Allen Walker, has filed suit against her, alleging he was fired from his position in the Shelby County General Sessions Court because he refused to sign off on improper county expenditures. He claims that the termination, of course, has caused him to suffer financially and emotionally. He claims that the clerk Sawyer's actions were in response to his refusing to stay silent about the alleged misuse of county funds on personal expenditures. So we have to wait and we have to watch that very, very carefully to see how that unfolds there. Meanwhile, we know that the shutdown has finally ended. Hooray, hooray. The Tennessee Department of Human Services today announced that the full Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, also known as SNAP, benefits for November of this month will be rolling out. They started rolling out today. So you should get your full benefits hopefully very, very soon. So that's very, very good news, no doubt about that. So let me see here. Did I get everything I wanted to get out here? Yeah, I did. By the way, in local sports news, both the Memphis Tigers lost to UNLV over the weekend. And, of course, the Memphis Grizzlies are 4 up and 10 down in terms of victories versus losses. And we found out that John Morant has suffered some calf soreness, and he could be out several games. So it's just, not looking real good for the home team right now. But I know, a lot of loyal folks out there. Go Tigers, go Memphis Grizzlies, go as things go. That is a quick look at news and notes on this Monday evening. Let's take a break, shall we? And when we come back, I'm expecting my first guest. Sometimes when you do live radio, you just kind of cross your fingers and you hope that things work out the way they're supposed to. Shelby County Sheriff Floyd Bonnor should be calling in hopefully pretty soon. So let's take a quick break. This is Real Talk Memphis. I'm Chip. Brent is here. Lola's here. I'm here. And you're here. We'll take a quick break. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
It's real talk. It's real talk. It's real talk. It's real talk.
I'm Patrick Tamburino, host of the Techno Strategist podcast. Join me as we navigate the ever-evolving world of IT managed services and beyond. We'll explore everything from selecting the ideal tech partner to the forefront of cutting-edge technologies, all infused with my own unique perspective and hopefully a touch of humor. Don't forget to tune in to the Techno Strategist on the WYXR podcast network. For more information, head over to WYXR.org.
Support for WYXR comes from GPAC, presenting Marcus Miller on Saturday, November 15th at 8 p.m. Known for his style combining funk, groove, soul, and jazz for over 40 years, Miller's latest studio album features guest performances from Trombone Shorty, Kirk Whalum, Patches Stewart, and others. More information and tickets at gpacweb.com.
Support for WYXR comes from GPAC, presenting Catapult on Saturday, November 22nd at 8 p.m., a shadow illusion performance company, touring the world with their show Magic Shadows. More information and tickets at gpacweb.com.
Celebrate the wrap of WYXR's biggest event on Saturday night, December 6th from 9 to 11 p.m. at Crosstown Concourse. The Raised by Soundfest after-party will transform Crosstown's East Atrium into a house music, audio-visual wonderland with a once-in-a-lifetime collab between the legendary Larry Heard, Mr. Fingers himself, Cloudland Canyon, and Kid Millions.
Not only does your ticket get you into this unforgettable immersive experience, it comes with complimentary eats, cocktails, wine, and beer, along with tooth gems by Maggie Bearden and portraits by Cheers Photo Company.
All proceeds go to WYXR. We'll be talking about this one for a long time, so get your tickets now at raisedbysoundfest.com.
Acoustic Sunday Live, now in its third decade, is proud to support WYXR and to present the Concert to Protect Our Aquifer, taking place at 7 p.m. on Sunday, December 7th at First Congo Church, located at 1000 Cooper Street. Performances by Shamika Copeland, Bobby Rush with Kenny Wayne Shepherd, James McMurtry, and more, with special guests Eric Lewis and Jimmy Davis. Tickets available at acousticsundaylive.com.
Support for WYXR comes from Outback Presents, announcing singer-songwriter Jason Isbell live at the Orpheum Theater on Friday, March 27th. Tickets and more information at Ticketmaster.com. Grinder Tabor Grinder Commercial Construction Contractors is proud to support the 2025 Raised by Sound Festival. As the builder of Crosstown Concourse, Grinder Tabor Grinder supports WYXR's shared goals of building community, whether through the music we enjoy together or the spaces that bring us together. More information at grindertabor.com. Want to reach a passionate audience who loves Memphis's arts and music scene? Sponsor WYXR and connect your brand with the city's creative community. More information at wyxr.org/sponsorship.
Programming on WYXR is brought to you by a grant from Arts Memphis, who has invested $100 million into our local arts community to teach, uplift, unite, and engage Memphians of all ages and zip codes.
Support from WYXR comes from Sunset Jazz at Court Square, a free, family-friendly concert series presented by Just Jazzin', downtown Memphis and City of Memphis. Held every second Sunday from May through October, this annual event brings the smooth sounds of Memphis jazz to the heart of downtown at 62 North Main Street. Each show spotlights local talent in a wide range of styles, from straight ahead to swing. More information can be found at sunsetjazzmemphis.com.
Raised by Soundfest is back the weekend of December 6th at Crosstown Concourse. We're looking for volunteers to help make it all happen. And you'll get VIP lounge access and free after-party entry as a thank you. Sign up now at volunteer.wyxr.org.
Support for WYXR and the 2025 Stereo Sessions comes from Independent Bank, serving Memphis, its businesses, and the greater community. You can find more information on how iBank can help you navigate your financial journey and hear client stories at i-bankonline.com.
Support for WYXR comes from Your Weight Matters Memphis. The Obesity Action Coalition will host an event on December 6th at the Hilton Memphis from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. to hear from leading experts in weight management, nutrition, and mental health. Mayor Paul Young will give opening remarks, and the City of Memphis has proclaimed the day as Your Weight Matters Memphis Day. This event is open to the public and all are welcome. More information can be found at yourweightmatters.com/Memphis. Every day in Memphis, the Hospitality Hub is working to end homelessness with compassion and innovation. Since 2007, the Hub has been a safe, kind place where those experiencing homelessness are welcomed as guests, not strangers. From a hot cup of coffee in a mailbox to a job for the day or a bed for the night, the Hub connects people to whatever help they need to find a stable home. Kindness is what works. You can learn more by visiting hospitalityhub.org or by emailing info@hospitalityhub.org.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk. Can y'all hear me? Welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday evening. Chip with you. It always pays to turn the mic up. I am efforting. We are efforting Shelby County Sheriff Floyd Bonnor to try to get in here so we can have a conversation with him about a few things that are happening in and around the jail. Finding out, I'm curious to know, in terms of all of these arrests that are happening, and it's well over 2,000, by the way, how it's affecting not only the capacity at the jail, but everything else that goes along with bringing someone in on arrest. We do know that they were granted some money here recently, very recently, to change some locks and add a little bit more security measures to the jail at 201 Poplar, which is a mess, as everybody knows. So hopefully they'll be able to make a few more repairs. The question about all of this is we don't know how long it's going to be. And we don't know how long this is going to go, and then how much more impact all of this is going to have in effect. Sheriff Bonnor has had to move prisoners. He's moved several hundred prisoners out to the Department of Corrections to be able to retrofit some of these other folks and squeeze them in as space is very, very limited. Even using some other jail facilities in West Tennessee to be able to house some of these folks before they have to go to court. One thing that happened here recently, and we talked about it, every news outlet in the city talked about it. Two women allegedly said that they were attacked by a male inmate here recently, and they were sexually assaulted. And they blamed the Shelby County Sheriff's Office for this. They said it happened at their facility. Of course, everybody thought the same. And there he is right now, ladies and gentlemen. Sheriff Floyd. I'm going to let him talk about it because he did make some comments about this mistake, so to speak, that occurred with this arrest. It turned out it wasn't at the Shelby County Jail. It wasn't at Jail East. But there he is right now. I don't know if you can you hear me and see me okay, Mr. Sheriff Floyd Bonnor Jr.? Can you hear me? Oh, he's connecting. Okay. All right. We'll give him a second.
All right.
There you go, my friend. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you.
I'm panicking.
That's all right. Look, you good, my friend. Thank you for taking time off, time out of your day to join me for a few minutes this evening. I know you're trying to get a little R&R. I won't hold you long, but thank you for being here this evening.
Absolutely.
So, I was just trying to explain to my listening audience recent events as occurred, or should I say recent accusations that have occurred with the Shelby County Sheriff's Office and the Shelby County Jail, where two women allegedly were attacked, or they said that they were sexually assaulted by an individual, and that the corrections deputies let this pass and everything else. They're two overzealous attorneys, instead of doing their due diligence and homework, decided to blame all of this on the sheriff's office, which runs 201 Poplar and Jail East. Problem is, it didn't happen at 201 or Jail East. It happened at the correction center, and rightfully so, my friend. Righteous indignation took over in reference to all of this, correct?
That is correct, Chip. First of all, thank you for having me on, and certainly, yes, the whole lawsuit thing and what was put out there to the media was so incorrect. The reporter that called himself breaking the story called us on Labor Day. Obviously, it was a county holiday. Everyone was off.
Sure.
And he says that we don't give him the information by 5 o'clock. He's going to run his story. Well, it was no way that we could even begin to try to run this story down. So we couldn't get it to him. And then when he runs the story, all the news stations, everybody picked it up. We even had people from across the country calling about it. And when we finally ran it down, it was out at the correction center, which I have nothing, or the sheriff's office has nothing to do with all of this. So right now I'm working with an attorney to get after these attorneys that filed this erroneous lawsuit, naming me, naming the chief jailer, Kirk Fields, and we'll see what happens.
This is, it really is outrageous. And I guess I'll ask, just as an aside, has anybody even apologized to you or your agency in reference to this completely erroneous situation?
Not yet, but they call themselves redoing the lawsuit, but then they had the mayor who is the sheriff, and man, it was just all kinds of convoluted stuff in there. I don't know what these guys are doing, these attorneys. That obviously they did no homework at all on their so-called suit. Their clients they know where they were housed at. So it's just been a horrible, horrible situation. And so, we're going to rectify it one way or the other.
Well, it absolutely needs to be rectified. Right is right and wrong is wrong, and this is absolutely wrong. So, you have to continue now with, as long as the Memphis Safe Task Force is in full effect, to house individuals that are arrested. I did read or hear recently that you did some shifting. You moved about 300 folks out, I guess, to the Department of Corrections to make room for all of these newly minted inmates. And I'm sure that space is still a big problem for you, is it?
Yes, it is. Let me just say this. We've signed a contract with the state corrections to move our pretrial inmates out and move them into some of the state facilities. Now, what your listeners have to realize is there's a difference between a pretrial inmate and an inmate that has already received his time.
Right.
We have to keep them separated. So space has really been a problem. I signed a contract maybe about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, for the state to take these inmates. Then we have another facility that we're trying to get as well that we could house maybe up to 150, just to relieve some of the pressure that's down at 201 in intake, which usually we're averaging over 200 people a day down in intake, because quite frankly, simply put, it's more coming in than what's going out. So everybody is bagged up. The clerk's office, the medical staff, the pretrial services, the district attorney's office, the public defender's office. So we've been having a series of meetings trying to figure out. You may have heard something about weekend court or night court,
yes, right,
or something. We're trying to come up with various ways to relieve that strain, or to relieve some of the pressure off the jail, because we're just having so many people coming in because of this surge, if you will. So hopefully in the next week, I'll be in the office tomorrow, coming from out of town, but I'll be back in the office tomorrow, and hopefully that's going to be one of my focal points in the morning.
Yeah, and I also heard that recently the Shelby County commissioners gave you some money. Was it $600,000 to start to address the lock situation in terms of some of your cells? Am I correct in that?
No, it was actually $16 to $17 million that we had to get from the county commission here. This was a few months ago,
right.
Because of the cell doors. The doors were knocked offline because of different power surges that we had with MLG and W, and it really caused a problem into where the detainees were getting out. We
lost him. We lost the signal there. He was talking about the added money that the sheriff's office needs to make much needed repairs to the jail. Clearly, and we've heard those stories for a very long time now. It is dilapidated. It has big time problems. Security there really isn't any security to try to keep these guys locked down, and they've been asking for money for a long time. I thought I read or heard recently that they earmarked a certain amount of money so they could at least start addressing the issue of new locks to keep these individuals secure. So that's just one of many issues that are still continuing to happen. And he talked about talking about doing either Saturday court or night court. Well, I heard recently that was rejected, or that they didn't feel like they need it. But when you heard him talk, you heard him say every area that's associated with law enforcement in terms of the courts and other areas are just completely overstuffed, overworked, overwhelmed, and they can't possibly get anything done that they need to get done in reference to all of this. So this problem just continues to go on and on and on. Listen, I'm going to, we're going to excuse the sheriff. We lost his signal there, but I think we got a little bit of information, and we're going to move on with the show. And I thank Sheriff Floyd Bonnor for joining us for a few minutes this evening. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, I'm going to talk to a man whose opinion I value very much, and whose opinion he doesn't mind sharing. This is Real Talk Memphis. I'm Chip. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page, and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
I'm Dr. Lisa Beasley, a family nurse practitioner and host of the podcast series Healthful High Notes, located on the WYXR Podcast Network. Episodes are released weekly, and I invite you to listen, like, and follow. Episode topics of awareness for the month of December include information on cold and flu season, preventing impaired driving, hand washing awareness, and coping with loneliness and stress during the holiday season. Visit the WYXR Podcast Network at wyxr.org or listen on your favorite podcast streaming service.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis. On this Monday evening, Chip with us, Chip with you, and we lost Sheriff Bonnor temporarily, but he is back with us, and we're going to finish up our conversation with him, ask a couple more questions. And you were talking about the funding, and we know how much you've asked for, how much you've needed, and I, for the life of me, I can't figure out how you do what you do when you are on such tight restraint. In terms of trying to balance everything up. But have they earmarked, meaning the county commission, and allotted you any money, emergency monies right now to make repairs right now? Can that be done?
Yeah, we're doing repairs, as I was saying. We're doing repairs. We received $16-17 million here a few months ago, and we're repairing the doors as we speak. Every day we have a crew in that's changing pod doors out, changing from the sliding doors to the hinge doors. But, we've had to come back and actually adjust so much more additional funding because of the surge, another $1.5 million. We need it because, as you know, the more people you put in jail, the more people got to be housed. They've got to be fed. Sure. More laundry, more, it's just more and more and more. And so just trying to keep up and with our budget. And my CAO does an excellent job, but we're going to have some problems this year.
Yeah, I was going to say, you'd have to have, in reference to all of this, I think I read earlier today, there's been about 2,500 arrests since this task force has come into town. Said at the top of the show, we have more National Guard troops on the way this week. And maybe you can make some sense of it, because I surely can't. We heard late Friday that we were going to get more National Guard folks coming in here. But I don't know the why. Do you know the why?
No, I hadn't figured that one out either. I don't know the why. It's a whole lot of questions that I have that's just not. I think some of the problem has been that Memphis was the first city. Remember, they did this in D.C., which is a district. Right. But this Memphis was a city. And we were the first city that this happened in, and it was a lot of unanswered questions. Still kind of unanswered questions. We're almost building this plane as we're flying it, as if you will. And so it's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of questions that need to be answered. And quite frankly, I'm just being honest with you, I don't have all the answers right now. Hopefully things will start trying to clear up a little bit over the next, week or two.
Well, I think for all of us, I think everybody's in the same bag, and I just, I think now, I don't know, at some point somebody's going to have to figure out, okay, well, what happens when they leave? You know what I mean? We've had this. I've always said that this was a bit heavy. All of this coming in here was very, very heavy, and they've done whatever they've done to disrupt whatever they've tried to disrupt around here, but at some point, Sheriff, they're going to have to move on to other places and doing other things. Have you had a chance to think about what would happen after, the question is, okay, well, now they're gone, now what?
Well, some of myself and some of my other law enforcement partners, we've always asked the question, what's the exit strategy? What happens when everybody leaves? What resources will be availed to us afterwards? Now, we're being told that there are going to be some resources left here in Memphis after this is over with. So that remains to be seen. I don't know in what way. I know the U.S. Attorney's Office are supposed to be getting 10 to 15 additional attorneys to prosecute federal cases. But the law enforcement piece in all of this, I think the Highway Patrol will be here to stay. The governor's made a commitment to that. But the federal law enforcement partners that we're seeing from all over the country, these people have families and they have agencies that they work for, back home, wherever home is.
Yeah.
So eventually they're going to have to leave. They're going, they must leave to go back to their home base, if you will. But I don't know what that's going to look like, or who's going to be left behind, or how that's going to go.
Crazy. Listen, Shelby County Sheriff Floyd Bonnor, thank you, man. I really appreciate you taking some time to come on the show tonight for a few minutes and talk. Safe travels on your way back home, and we'll be talking down the road, no doubt.
All right, my friend. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. You too.
And thank the Reverend for his time, too.
Absolutely.
All right, man.
All right. And speaking of, please welcome in Reverend Dr. Pastor Earl Fischer. He is a man. When I want truth, I pick up the phone and I reach out to him. He's a community activist and does so much for our community. And by the way, before we even get started, I want to congratulate you on 20 years, your 20th anniversary at the Abyssinian Missionary Baptist Church as the senior pastor over there. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. Just to clarify, I've been at Abyssinian for 14 years, but the church celebrated 20 years of ministry this last weekend. So thank you to you, Brother Chip, and to all of those who celebrated with us, whether it was at the banquet on Friday or the health fair on Saturday or at the worship service on Sunday. So thanks, brother.
Absolutely that. Okay, so and thank you again for taking pulling out a little time out of your segment here. But I'm very curious to find out. We've not talked really since all of this started. You heard the sheriff and you heard some of the things that he said. So just in a nutshell, just kind of give me your thoughts about all things Memphis Safe Task Force.
Yeah, well, I wrote a lot about this, a lot of articles, because I felt like it was important to document what we anticipated, those of us who had been engaged and involved in criminal justice reform efforts over the last several years. And for those of us who kind of had a bird's eye view of what was happening on the ground, and then could hear the echoes coming from Washington through Nashville and ultimately into Memphis. And I think it was pretty clear that this was people playing to an audience of one at the White House in an attempt to appease a felonious president that clearly does not really give a damn about public safety in a city like Memphis or Shelby County, but definitely cares about political power. And so to watch kind of like the shape-shifting of Governor Bill Lee, who initially started out saying no National Guard and so on and so forth, and then him shifting gears into they're coming and we'll fix. And you just heard Sheriff Bonnor say this. Literally, we'll fix the plane in flight. We'll figure it out along the way. I mean, what a wonderful political posture to have. And I think that Mayor Young has been caught in the crossfire because he has been unwilling to challenge his governor in Nashville and has left far too many citizens in the crosshairs who have had their First and Fourth Amendment civil and human rights violated. So this is where we are right now, is with people trying to narrate how you spin this in the best possible way, whether it's saying, we've had 100 children who
Right.
were lost and now have been found.
Right.
But when you disaggregate the data, you come to find out that a lot of those children were literally with parents, in other parts of the country.
Yeah.
And then you hear, well, we got 400 illegal guns off the street. Well, and then on his face, I don't know anybody who doesn't want illegal guns off the street, but I just don't know how they are categorizing what these illegal guns are. Are these Glock switches? We don't know. Are these people who have felonies and then just so happen to have a gun? We don't know. Is this the recovery of guns that were stolen in the last several years? We don't know. So it's so many things. You just heard the sheriff say, I don't know.
Yeah.
So just imagine how the average citizen feels if you have people who are that influential and impactful and important within the law enforcement apparatus, who when you ask them what is happening, they have to say they don't know.
The one thing you did mention, Mayor Young, and one thing I wanted to say about that, he's been criticized by some for not being, as you said, more vocal about all of this. As one, if you disagree with something, you have a right to say that. He's sort of riding that political tightrope. But I've always been of the ilk that whether or not I win or lose a battle, at least I will express my displeasure in something if I feel strongly enough about it. Do you think that in this situation was the case or could have been the case?
So, what I've said to him directly is, I don't think a lot of us are asking you to start a fight, but we are asking you to recognize when you're in one. And I think that he has been reluctant to acknowledge the depth of the battle that he is in and the tenacity and the disingenuous nature that so many people in Bill Lee's camp kind of play with. And so I think that we are seeing Mayor Young's benevolence be used against him because he is, I think, a person who desires a kind of utopia that may have been possible in political seasons past, but definitely is just not possible in the political season that we're in right now. And so, I think he was caught on the defense starting out by not saying or not wanting to, I guess, tip off the feds and say, I don't really want y'all here. And then you had Trump say, the mayor loves us coming in.
Right.
And then now he has to come and kind of clean that up. And so I also think that Mayor Young and many others, and this is not some personal attack because I talked to the mayor and I think that he is a upstanding person who I think does not see things politically in the same vein as someone like me. And that's his prerogative. He's elected to office and he gets to govern as he sees fit. I think the philosophy around public safety for him and so many others is grounded in a kind of propaganda, as one author puts it. It's a kind of punitive populism where you feel like the primary answer, and I think that Mayor Young has kind of shifted away from some of his predecessors insofar as his willingness to lead with this. But the primary answer is law enforcement to solving crimes. Now, what you hear Mayor Young saying, I agree with him, and I think he deserves some credit in trying to implement, is you cannot police your way to public safety. But they still talk about the need to increase the number of law enforcement officers, much more than you hear them talk about the need to increase the kind of resources that will provide citizens with better opportunities and make them less inclined to engage in criminal activity. So that's the catch-22 that I think somebody like the mayor and many of his counterparts are in. They definitely love. And I think it's some merit too, like having some of the assistance with prosecutorial things and cleaning up of some of the warrants and all of this. But when you allow yourself to be hung out to dry in a way where what we're witnessing is the quintessential moving of the goalposts, no one can tell you what success is right now with this particular Memphis Safe Task Force. And part of the reason we can't tell you that is because we know categorically, statistically, as a black fact, crime was already decreasing before they formed this task force.
Right.
And so now we don't really have concrete metrics to measure what kind of impact this task force is having, even though you have an apparatus from the federal standpoint and from the state standpoint that are able to exploit and manipulate the data to make it seem like the things that are happening now is because of their efforts. So I just think it's a messed up situation that we got to try to find our way out of.
One final question for you, if in reference to that, finding our way out of it. What's next? I mean, how do we recover from this? I mean, what is? I mean, there is going to be a next, some kind of way, and really the question is, where do we go from here after all of this is said and done?
Well, this is why people like you are so important and vital, and this is why when you hear Sheriff Bonnor state the truth that he stated, it needs to be amplified. So what we need in the next iteration of this is the highest level of truth telling we can muster. We need people who are not just saying in the back rooms that they don't know what's happening or they don't understand this or what kind of impact this may or may not be having. We need a chorus of people who are courageous enough to tell the truth and admit and acknowledge what was and was not happening and what did and did not have an impact and what kind of impact it did and did not have. And if we don't have that from people like you, Brother Chip, and other people in the media, because I think for too long I was pushing extremely hard just to get the media to stop reporting data without disaggregation. 1,400 arrests or 2,800 arrests. Yeah, but then if you peel back the layers, you realize 40% of these things been about illegal immigration from some people who were not illegal immigrants. And so if we cannot bring ourselves to tell the highest level of truth, then that just leaves us on the chopping block of political exploitation and manipulation. And then when the midterm elections come along, or if there is another presidential election in a couple more years, then we might find ourselves being used as fodder for that kind of political animus. So hopefully we could just muster up a better sense of being honest and truth-telling.
Reverend Dr. Earl Fischer, thank you, my friend, for coming on the show tonight. Man, I love listening to you talk, and I love hearing your take on things. I really appreciate you, and I really appreciate everything that you do for this community, and thank you for coming on tonight. Appreciate it.
Man, appreciate the opportunity to keep up the good work.
Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You want some truth? That was some truth right there. And we all as a community, a lot of us have a lot of different questions about a lot of different things that we don't have answers to. And he alluded to a couple of times. Sheriff Floyd Bonnor said the same thing. And he's in this thing, deeper than anybody else is around here to try to figure out exactly, because I said it from the very beginning, this is very, very heavy. Everything that is going on out here in our communities. I'm supposed to have, is he on, Bryn? Dr. Bruce Randolph is supposed to be joining me on this broadcast tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about health-related issues if I can get him on. Let's take a very quick break, and when we come back, we'll see if we can't effort him. This is Real Talk Memphis. I'm Chip. Don't go away, please.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Acoustic Sunday Live, now in its third decade, is proud to support WYXR and to present the Concert to Protect Our Aquifer, taking place at 7 p.m. on Sunday, December 7th at First Congo Church, located at 1000 Cooper Street. Performances by Shamika Copeland, Bobby Rush with Kenny Wayne Shepherd, James McMurtry, and more, with special guests Eric Lewis and Jimmy Davis. Tickets available at acousticsundaylive.com.
Want to reach a passionate audience who loves Memphis's arts and music scene? Sponsor WYXR and connect your brand with the city's creative community. More information at wyxr.org/sponsorship.
Programming on WYXR is brought to you by a grant from Arts Memphis, who has invested $100 million into our local arts community to teach, uplift, unite, and engage Memphians of all ages and zip codes.
Support from WYXR comes from Sunset Jazz at Court Square, a free, family-friendly concert series presented by Just Jazzin', downtown Memphis and City of Memphis. Held every second Sunday from May through October, this annual event brings the smooth sounds of Memphis jazz to the heart of downtown at 62 North Main Street. Each show spotlights local talent in a wide range of styles, from straight ahead to swing. More information can be found at sunsetjazzmemphis.com.
Your car has one last great trip to take, straight to support WYXR. We'll pick it up, you'll get a tax break, and the music keeps rolling. Donate your car, truck, SUV, or any vehicle at cars.wyxr.org.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
Welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday evening. Chip with you. And we've had some pretty interesting conversations so far this evening. I am efforting Dr. Bruce Randolph from the interim director of the Shelby County Health Department. He says he's on. We don't know where on is or where on is at in terms of logging in this evening, because you would be automatically, dropped into the show if he was there, but we can't really find. I'm trying to hold on here. We still have a few minutes left in the broadcast to see if he'll figure out the connection and where he needs to be and how he needs to be, because I do want to hear from him. But if we don't hear from him tonight, we'll work it out and we'll have him back next week. I guarantee you that. But let's review. Let's go back for a minute and talk about what we heard this evening. Many people in Memphis and Shelby County have either become victims of or critics of what has happened with this Memphis Safe Task Force. And these statistics that they put out, they're sort of willy-nilly. They don't give you a lot of detail. It's an overview. I saw 2,400 arrests over that this afternoon, and thousands of tickets being issued here in town. And Earl Fischer brought up recently, they said, we found 101 missing children. Now, I've been in the media for a while now, and I do know that when you're speaking of children, period, you're going to, the news is going to pick up on that. And then they're going to follow up on that, and they're going to find out what that's all about. How in the world can 101 children be missing in Memphis and we know nothing about it? I mean, that to me, and we've not gotten any details on anything in particular in reference to it. So I don't know exactly, again, it's easy to fudge statistics, but what I'm disappointed in the mainstream media is why nobody has pushed that particular statistic. If over 100 missing children have been found, I'm sorry, I'm doing two things at once. My Dr. Randolph said he's on Teams and he's not on Zoom. We're on Zoom. We're not on Teams. So I don't know if we'll be able to get him tonight or not. But that's a statistic that is very telling. And I don't know why we hadn't raised more heck about any of that. But the bottom line to it is you bring in more National Guard troops, hundreds more, and they're going to be here for a while. And again, nobody, even the sheriff of Shelby County, couldn't tell you why they're coming and what their function is. We do know that some of these folks from around the country, the Marshal Service, the FBI, the TBI, whoever, wherever, whatever the initials are, will eventually be going back to where they came from. We do know that these troopers are going to be here, and these boys writing tickets left and right. I mean, they are out here, they're writing tickets. And if you took a survey of what people think about this in terms of the perspective of crime, people are going to say to you, well, yeah, we feel safer. We feel safer. Well, if you have 100 law enforcement agents running up and down these streets and roads and byways and highways out here, even the criminals are going to take some time off. Although we do see crime, although it hasn't completely stopped, the boldest ones will continue to try to get away with things. But for the most part, people feel like, they feel safer. But again, before the task force got here, according to those in the know, the political folks and the police folks, crime was down 25%. So then it becomes a situation of perception versus reality. what's real and what's just said. We know that the police department is well undermanned in terms of doing what they do. And right now, they're going out with some of these other federal law enforcement agents to crack down on situations. The biggest situation of concern that many people feel around here is the fact that what is happening to our brown brothers and sisters, our immigrants, our Hispanic population, are getting just stomped. Okay, now there he is. He just joined in. So I'm gonna have to introduce him, but I'll get him back next week if I can see Dr. Randolph there. Hey man, listen. Yeah, how you doing? We're at the end of the show. But I want to make sure that I introduce you. Now, let me, I'm going to say this right now. We're on the air live. So we're not going to be able to get into what I want to talk to you about tonight. But can you come back to me next week? Can you come back next Monday night? Or do you have to check your schedule?
Let me check my schedule, but I should be able to.
Okay.
Yeah, apologize for the delay. I was on the wrong.
That's all right. That happens.
I was on Teams.
Yeah.
To be let in.
Yeah, we're a Zoom group around here, but that's okay. Listen, man, it's great to see you. And I know you wanted to talk about some health disparities. I really want to talk to you about, you've been working really hard. We've been talking about HIV, situations and a lot of other things that are going on. We're getting into a time of year, the fall, where, the weather's getting cooler. Folks are, closer together. Sickness is starting to pick up a bit. So I want to talk a little bit about that, some of the preventative measures that you have going on. But let me just ask you really quickly here. You've been in that seat now for not very long, and I know you have an agenda of things that you really want to educate the public on. If you had to choose, what would be the most important thing that you really want to convey to the citizens of Shelby County?
I guess the one thing is the whole concept of total wellness.
Yeah.
Well-being of spirit, mind, and body.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, how do you go about achieving that? You're going to go about achieving that through having faith, practicing the principles and teachings of your faith. You're going to do it by moving your body, some form of exercise, stretching, range of motion. You're going to do it also by managing stress through meditation, prayer. You're going to do it by healthy eating primarily a plant-based diet, a lot of fruits and vegetables, water. You're going to get rest. You're going to avoid abnormal, or should I say unhealthy relationships, and certainly avoid the misuse of substances. And those are the type of things that we want to promote, as well as make people aware of the health disparities that exist. We talk about it a lot, but we want to really break that down, and we're going to do that actually Friday. We're having a church leader health forum at Benjamin Hook's Library.
Okay.
Starting at 11. We invited pastors, church leaders to come, and we're going to have a discussion about the disparities, such as the high homicide rate, the HIV and STI rates, and the fact that the life expectancy in South Memphis can be as much as 25 years less than that in out east in Germantown. Why that is the case. And we're going to really dig deep into addressing issues.
Well, listen, my friend, I want you to do that. And I think Monday would be a good day for you to come on if you can, because you will have had this conference and you'll be able to tell me kind of some of the results of it. I want to hear that, and I want my audience to hear more about that. So I'm hoping you and I'll connect up sometime this week. And we'll see
we will. I owe you.
Okay.
I owe you. Sorry about the miss out.
Don't worry about it, my friend. I look forward to talking to you soon. But thanks for popping in. I appreciate you, man.
All right.
Take care. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Looking good.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you as well.
All right.
That's going to wrap it up for this edition of Real Talk Memphis as Bren plays us out. By the way, don't leave, because Bren is coming back with Event Horizon. If that's not one of the coolest names of a show I've ever heard, I've never, and Bren does it very, very well, ladies and gentlemen. So listen to the variety of music he brings you this evening. In the meantime, thank you for supporting Real Talk Memphis. I really appreciate it. And as I told Doc, we'll get him back next week, and we will. The DAC Morroy will be here next week as well. So we'll have a loaded show. In the meantime, in between time, please go out and watch out for yourself and watch out for other folks, because they may not be watching out for you. And do something nice for someone, because you never know how good it will make you feel. So for all of us here at Real Talk.